Well, hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome back to another weekday afternoon. Please let me know if my audio's okay. Let's see who's in the feed besides me. Hi, Nora. Okay, great. Okay, I'll touch base with you a little bit later when I'm back at my desk. Well, hello, everybody. You have found me either on the book that is Face or the tube that is You. And I am Love Evolve Energy up over here. It's my little logo. I'm an energy geek and energy channel, energy worker. I work with the vibration foundations of existence itself and do one-on-one sessions, group sessions, and I do a lot of ecstatic dance and meditation, both as a way to foster foundations and integrate your evolution. So if you can see in the little ticker tape feed below, if you're a star seed or star blossom or earth angel or a phoenix, ready to rise, mover and shaker kind of person, I'm your gal. If you want some assistance with that, if you want some information, I do readings and healings, etc., etc. So that's who I am. And that's the lens with which I show up here. I've also have an extensive background in yoga, breathwork, and somatics. So I bring a lot of that to the table in every session. And we'll be doing more of that this summer, I believe. Anyway, here we are in the afternoons of this lovely, lovely week in May 2022. There is a meditation retreat coming up on Saturday, the 21st, all day-long retreat, which you can sign up for, register for on my website. All the info for that is in the info box above or below this live stream, depending on where you're finding me. And you can find info about that there, register there. I want to look at the feed some more. See who else is here. Hey, everybody. Hey, crickets. How you doing? So that is the day-long retreat is why I'm showing up here every afternoon, free of charge, of course, just to offer all of this and some information about what's happening on Saturday, but mostly to practice. If you want some community practice time with your meditation practice, if you want just to hone your skills a little bit more, if you just need a meditation sit in the middle of the day, well, you found me, and this is what we're doing. I am functioning on East Coast time, just so everybody knows. So if you're West Coast, you're late morning. If you're over across the pond, then you're somewhere in early evening, I believe, or later, maybe the next day, or no, wee hours of the morning, I believe, if you're in Shanghai or something like that. Anyway, hi, everybody. Hi. So we've been working with the theme of equanimity. That is the theme that we'll be focused on for our day-long meditation retreat that happens on Zoom. So familiarize yourself with the workings of Zoom. It's pretty easy. You just need a link, which will be sent to you if you are joining us on Saturday. Or even if you would like to join but can't, it's going to be recorded. So you can purchase that on Podia later on, or you could just sign up for the retreat and I'll send it to your inbox, the whole retreat. What ends up on Podia is snippets, outtakes from the retreat. If the video came out good, if the audio and the video came out good, that can be something that you can use at some other point if you so decides, if you so wish. So as you can see, I'm already in a bit of a meditative state. I want to continue with that. I want to read a little bit from an article that came out maybe not quite a decade ago in a Buddhist magazine named Tricycle. And this article is written by a man named Gil Fronsdale, who's a teacher out in California, and who was the teacher of many of my teachers. So I have a fondness for him and another pundit, Sayadaw, maybe. Both of them co-wrote this article for Tricycle. The article is on equanimity practice and what is equanimity. So I wanted to read a few selections from that just to feel inspired, just to have some clarity around that and another point of view about what that is. So that's my plan today. As I said yesterday, the technique we will be working with during the semi-silent sit is the same. Noticing what arises in your present moment, noticing the pleasantness, unpleasantness, the neutrality, or the total fucking confusion about what that is. And then resting in pure awareness of that. That's the general technique we're going to be working with, just being with the present moment and noticing your response or reaction to the arisings within it. That's what we're going towards. So I've only been up for about 6 minutes. I typically like to start about 1:15, and I'm getting warm. Whew, the energy is rising, and I'm not even doing energy work. Jeez. So I'll wait another about 5 minutes before we start the formal sit. The formal sit will begin with this bell. And end with the same. I'll do a tiny bit of guiding on our way in right after the bell, and a little bit towards the end before the bell. And then we can talk about what happened. So in today's sit, as promised from yesterday, we will be sitting a little bit longer, or standing, or whatever you're doing, or being horizontal. With your position, the only thing that I believe is important, and I would suggest you heed, though do whatever you want, is to have a long spine. Long, straight-ish, relaxed spine. That's it. So however you need to sit is up to you. You don't need to be cross-legged Indian style. You can be sitting in a chair. You could be sitting squatting with your knees up, as I am half doing right now. You could be resting horizontal, if that is your choice. So if you're joining us for that, and welcome replay watchers, you can maybe begin to get that ready for yourselves. Start to explore that. We're not quite there yet. We're going to wait a few more minutes. So as we move into this, I don't think I need that, but I do need this. Let me begin to read selections from this article that I talked about. You could see in the feed, I posted a quote. Is it a quote? It's from the Dhammapada, one of the older texts. And what you see is a translation from the Pali language, which is an old ancient language, presumably what the Buddha wrote and spoke in, presumably. The Buddha on equanimity. I'll read it aloud for you. As a solid mass of rock is not stirred by the wind, so a sage is not moved by praise and blame. As a deep lake is clear and undisturbed, so a sage becomes clear upon hearing the Dharma. As an aside, the Dharma is all the writings, and it's loosely translated as perennial truth, or the clarity of truth that arises when you have insight. Can also talk about a path or way. Let me continue. Virtuous people always let go. They don't prattle about pleasures and desires, touched by happiness and then suffering. The sage shows no sign of being elated or depressed. So that's a section from the Dhammapada, which I love. So the name of this article, you know what? I ought to post a link to that. So let me see if I can do that. Copy. Yes, I can. Then let me go back to you guys. And this is a link to the article. We will look at the article, perhaps a little bit more in depth on Saturday, if you so choose to join us. Where are we? Okay, so the article is called A Perfect Balance. And as I said, it's in Tricycle. Oh, Sayadaw. So it's by Gil Fronsdale and Sayadaw U Pandita. And this came out in winter 2005. Yeah, not quite 20 years ago, about 15 years ago. So Gil starts the article, and I'm going to read just a little bit about what he says. The article is entitled, did I say that? A Perfect Balance. And so it's pointing at equanimity. And he writes this: equanimity, one of the most sublime emotions of Buddhist practice, is the ground for wisdom and freedom, and the protector of compassion and love. While some may think of equanimity as dry neutrality or cool aloofness, mature equanimity produces a radiance and a warmth of being. The Buddha described a mind filled with equanimity as, these are quotes, abundant, exalted, immeasurable, without hostility, and without ill will. The English word equanimity translates two separate Pali words used by the Buddha, which often happens with Pali. There's no, and any language translations, there are some words that don't have direct translations. And so the two separate Pali words used by the Buddha that are pointing at the word that we use, equanimity, are upekkha and tatra majatata. Upekkha, if you're familiar with the divine abodes and the heart practices known as the Brahma Viharas, you will be familiar with this translation, this word. Upekkha, the more common term, means to look over and refers to the equanimity that arises from the power of observation, the ability to see without being caught by what we see. When well developed, such power gives rise to a great sense of peace. This is what we've been practicing the last couple of days, if you've been with me. Upekkha can also refer to the spaciousness that comes from seeing a bigger picture. Colloquially, in India, the word was sometimes used to mean to see with patience. We might understand this as seeing with understanding. For example, when we know not to take offensive words personally, we are less likely to react to what is said. And by not reacting, there is greater possibility to respond from wisdom and compassion. This form of equanimity is sometimes compared to grandmotherly love. The grandmother clearly loves her grandchildren, but thanks to her experience with her own children, is less likely to be caught up in the drama of the children's lives, grandchildren's lives. Maybe you had that kind of grandma. Maybe you didn't. Still more qualities of equanimity are revealed by the term tatra majatata, a long compounded word made of simple Pali words. Tatra, meaning there, sometimes refers to all things. Majha means middle, and tata means to see or to pose, have a stance. Put together, the word becomes to stand in the middle of all this. I love that. To stand in the middle of all this. As a form of equanimity, this being in the middle refers to balance, to remaining centered in the middle of whatever is happening. This form of balance comes from some inner strength or stability, the strong presence of inner calm, well-being, confidence, vitality, or integrity can keep us upright, like a ballast keeps a ship upright in strong winds. As inner strength develops, for example, from the accumulation of mindfulness in the ordinary moments of life, equanimity follows. So that's all I'm going to read. I will, however, repeat. I'll read a tiny bit more. The selections, some ideas that Buddha said about equanimity that are also in the feed. As a solid mass of rock is not stirred by the wind, so the sage is not moved by praise and blame. As a deep lake is clear and undisturbed, so a sage becomes clear upon hearing the Dharma. Virtuous people always let go. They don't prattle on about pleasures and desires. Touched by happiness and then suffering, the sage shows no sign of being elated or depressed. Evenness, evenness, evenness. So with that reading, let's hunker down and move into a longer meditation. We're moving into 40 minutes today. So, finding yourself in a comfortable sitting position, or a position wherein your torso and spine can be long and easy, yet vibrant and awake. Getting comfortable, let us begin. Breathe and feel. Breathe and feel. Hunkering down the body. Relax a bit more on each exhale. Moving into surrender, letting go, release. And if it feels good to you, take some sighing breaths. One last shift and squirm with your physical self. Nesting, getting comfortable. Letting your awareness rest with the feels, breath and body, breath and body. Noticing what's pleasant, what's unpleasant, or what's generally neutral. Breath and body. Breathe and feel sensation. Noting pleasant, unpleasant, neutral sensations of breath and body. And beginning to shift your awareness now to your emotional body and heart center. You may choose to begin this exploration by letting your fingertips gently touch your heart center. Noticing the pleasant, unpleasant, and downright neutral sensations within your heart and emotional body. Breathe and feel. Release thought, release words, language, release image. Just rest within the feels. The only activity of mind is noticing pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. Bearing witness to the fluctuations of the heart. And now, as you feel ready, shift. Allow your awareness to rest on the activity of the mind. Thoughts happen with images and language. Hearing words, phrases, music, sound, other auditory vibration, sight, shape, pictures, memories, still and moving, movies, color, shadow, light. All of this is activity of the mind. Resting here for just a few minutes, noticing all the fluctuations of your mind stuff. There may be attendant ripples in the emotional and physical body. Let them be, let those go. Just awareness of the mind stuff. Is it neutral, pleasant, or unpleasant? Breathe and bear witness. Sometimes when we bear witness to a particular area, such as hearing or internal seeing, there can be a tendency for it to go quiet, for it to go blank. And so it is. Gently waiting and bearing witness to hearing and sight, like a cat at a mouse hole, bearing witness to the stillness within hear space and see space. And now, shifting yet again, zoom out, pull out, getting a bird's eye view of all experience, all sensation. The mental body of seeing and hearing, the emotional body of emotional sensation, and the physical body of breath and other physical sensation. Step back, bear witness to all things arising in your now moment. Can you bear witness to all things in a kind neutrality? All the pleasantness, all the unpleasantness, with kind neutrality, bearing witness. What are you aware of? What is arising in your present moment? Let it go. It's okay. Let it flow. It's okay. Let it be. It's okay. Let it in. It's okay. It's okay. Let it go. Awareness. staying with the moment exactly as it is. All things, all pleasantness, all unpleasantness, calmly abiding in the middle of all things. Pleasantly aware, kindly aware gently aware. Allowing your awareness now to notice the pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral within your mind. Is it visual? Is it auditory? Is it pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral? Allow now your awareness to rest on the inner feelings, awareness on the pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral flows and activations, arisings and passings within the emotional body, the heart. Calmly keeping all guests visiting your heart in your kind awareness. being with your emotional body. And now resting your awareness on your breathing. Inhale and exhale. Pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral awareness with breath. Begin to include in your awareness other physical sensations. Scanning your body now for unpleasant physical sensation. Calmly abiding. Scan your body now, becoming aware of the loudest, pleasant sensations. Pleasant physical sensations. And lastly, include awareness of anything that's neutral. Are there any neutral physical sensations, body and breath? And now, let go. Let go of all effort. Let go of the practice. Let go of all skills. Let go of resting awareness. Let go of paying attention. And just rest. Eyes closed. Just rest. Do nothing. Just rest. Do nothing. Nothing to do. Nowhere to go. No place to be. Just now. Just be there. Let go. Just rest. Be with resting. Breathe. Deeper sighing breath. Stretch your arms. Open your mouth. Give yourself a yawn. Coming back. Send a little ripple of movement through your neck and your whole spine, your belly, your hips, your shoulders, wiggling your face, your fingers, your toes, your feet. Physical movement. And as you feel ready, letting your eyes flutter open. May our practice today be for the benefit of all beings everywhere. Welcome back to your neocortex and engagement with the world around you, perhaps. That was our practice for today. Thank you for practicing with me. Have a little sip of water, move your legs, stretch a bit. And post in the feed if you feel inspired. Let me know how that was for you, what arose, what it was like. What was that like? There's no bad sit. It's all good. What were you aware of? If you feel like sharing or not, that's good. Were you super antsy and distracted for the entire time? Awesome. Were you super calm and went into a deep trance-like space of simply being aware of spaciousness the entire time? Awesome. Awesome. Did you get sleepy and drowsy? Cool. That's the dorsal aspect of your vagal nerve complex. Oh, hey, Monique. Yeah. Some moments of no selfing. Awesome. It's all good. Typically, we have an experience and then we talk about it. So, if you choose to join me on Saturday during our day long Zoom retreat, we'll have multiple opportunities to do sitting, some guided, some silent. And then, after we have experiences, we reconvene and we chat. It's a way to integrate. It's a way to share experience. It's a way to feel seen and validated, and a way to practice your equanimity while you're engaged with others. Haha, indeed. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing your experiences. Some oxy in the house. Sweet. Super chill. So, those of you on Facebook can't read some of these other comments because they are in the YouTube space. Although some of you are in the YouTube space. Hey, Christy. My pleasure. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'd really appreciate that. Although many of you are here regulars and you may have. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. Okay, so tomorrow, same bat place, same bat time. We'll be back here. We'll do the same thing. We'll sit a tiny bit longer, not much, just an extra 5 minutes. So a lot of you who are practicing with me today noticed there's a qualitative difference in engaging in a practice for a longer chunk of time, 40 minutes. Sometimes I like to say that nothing really good happens until 30 minutes or later. All the good stuff happens after that, in my estimation. I might be wrong, might be right. I don't know. But I like to say it. I think it's a cute thing to say, and has been true for me historically. So tomorrow we'll be back here and we'll probably do another brief chat, but because we will be sitting for practicing, I should say, for hey, let me know in the feed, did anybody not take a seat? Was anybody standing? Was anybody resting horizontal? Let me know. I'm curious. I'd be curious to hear about that. Tomorrow, as I said, same bat time, same bat place. We'll be sitting for a little bit longer. So the chatty chat at the beginning will be shorter. We're going to hunker down and go right into it. I'll be up here at the top of the hour, and my goal is to start our formal practice at about 10 past. So we have a little bit of time after to do some reconnecting and some chatting. All right. Let me know. And if you're not comfortable sharing in the feed and you want to, but you do want to share privately with me, just message me. Facebook Messenger is the easiest place to do that. That's the simplest, easiest, and I will see it there. I will see it there. So, everybody, thank you. Thank you for joining me today. I will see you tomorrow. And if you want to sign up for the retreat on Saturday, no press, no press. Where's my thank you, thank you, thank you? I like to go out with thank you. I like the music on the little thank you video. So let me find that. That's because it's way down there. All right, you guys. Have a gorgeous day. Love yourself even harder than you have. And if you had a taste or a whiff of equanimity, see if you can taste it or whiff it a few more times today. See if it arises. No pressure. Just take a little mini meditation hit at some point, a couple of times, a couple of points during the day, and see what happens. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Bye.